What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about what's going on with SPY and Tesla and the QQQ, break down some very important levels and what's happening in the pre-market, how this may dictate how the market moves going forward into the open hours. Before I break anything down about all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. And finally, don't forget about the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. We put in $100 into the account. You are guaranteed 5 free stocks with a $100 cash reward and also other benefits. The offer ends very soon, in just a couple of weeks. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. All right, guys, so looking at the market is still holding up quite nicely in the pre-market. We're about to get a bullish cross in the 30-minute time frame for SPY, and it's testing this heavy resistance right around this zone. But for now, there's no sign of weakness in the pre-market. We did get a bearish cross on the PPO just temporarily, but now it's curling up and about to get a bullish one, and still looking quite strong. However, before we get any breaks to the upside on Tesla or SPY or anything like that, we need some confirmation first. Let's first talk about the news just briefly, then I'm going to talk about the charts. So we have some agricultural supply and demand data coming out. This may affect the market at about 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, but this is not very significant, so I don't expect this to be that crazy. But always remember that this is just the calm before the storm, because we have so much data coming out next week, and I'm going to be expecting a crazy week. We have consumer inflationary expectations for Monday, CPI on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have FOMC. Then we have OPEX on Friday. So crazy week next week is coming. This is just the final cool day in terms of data. So get ready and enjoy it while it lasts. Anyways, the news is declaring the S&P 500 is in a bull market. Well, like I said on this channel, I don't care if it's a bull market, a koala market, a kangaroo market, a bear market. I don't even care. I just look at the charts and talk about those. However, I do want to note this because sentiment right now is very, very positive. People are still very, very excited about this. And I believe that this is going to add to more FOMO and buying pressure for the markets, because news like this is going to add to positive sentiment. Now, as far as Tesla goes, we had some new news that came out. I know this was announced just a few days ago, but this is making some headlines that Tesla plans for 375,000 Cybertrucks per year. And they will have, once again, they're going to be releasing the deliveries and the reports like that very soon, around like August time. So we have a lot of things coming out. That's once again awesome news. And a lot of people are still holding their reservations. We have 1.5 million of them. This is once again great news for Tesla moving forward. Tesla also jumped on this news right here involving the deal with GM. In case you guys missed my previous video, Tesla is basically going to be opening up their charging network to more companies. Elon Musk said Tesla's open up to sharing their patents and all these different things, even their AI developments with other companies. And he's just focused on Tesla's vision, which is accelerating the advancement of EV technology. It's not just about making Tesla the best. He wants to do this for the entire globe. And I believe it's a great thing Elon Musk is doing alongside the entire Tesla team. Now, with this news coming out, now that they're going to be sharing their supercharger network with GM, that was massive news. This is going to be boosting so much revenue for Tesla, and investors are super, super excited about this. Tesla's up big because of it. But now we're going to look at some important levels. So if you look at a larger Fibonacci retracement, I just want to note this just to be safe in case Tesla does retrace a little bit in the morning. Once again, we have this major support around this like 244 level, but we could break this down in a much smaller way, just like this, just to see the other retracement levels, because we did get this small wick above the higher level. We could start all the way up here and then break it down like this. When looking at this, Tesla, you could see it retraced a little bit to where the 0.382 was right here, pushed up. And these are the levels you might be watching for on the much smaller, more macro time frames. 0.786, 0.68 tend to be more popular in case it does retrace just a little bit. But I don't see Tesla tanking too hard or anything like that. I do believe it could cool off a bit, but once again, it's gapping up pretty hard. Small cool off would be fine, and there's still no sign of major weakness, right? It's still making higher highs and higher lows. So even if it does cool off just a tiny bit, it could just get eaten up by all those FOMO buyers at the end, all those Johnny come latelys, and all those people just coming into FOMO into Tesla. It could still push up. For confirmation of a bigger push, it needs to get a very strong hold above 250. We're currently at 249, so we're very close already. But yes, it could cool off just a little bit first before it continues going. And if it does hold 250, this thing has a lot of potential to keep on pushing up because of all the FOMO. The FOMO on this thing is strong. the amount this thing could squeeze is very strong. And once again, the market is still holding up quite nicely. All right, so now let's break down these technicals. Let's talk about what's going on. All right, so when looking at the charts, okay, SPY has this resistance in the 429.6 zone. We just tested it just a few minutes ago. We're pushing right now. We're about to get a bullish cross in the 30-minute time frame. We're looking very, very strong. There was no sign of weakness in the after hours yesterday. Even like in the pre-market right now, the market's still looking very hot, very strong. And let me remind you, we have over 1 million puts expiring today with a 1.92 put to call ratio and just over 500,000 calls expiring. So the majority of individuals and institutions have puts, and they're once again likely going to take a hit, in my opinion. Now we have this cup and handle information. Could even argue that this is looking like a bull flag. I'm not too worried about any of that though. And here's the reason why. Look, this is simple. Confirmation is king. We need confirmation first before getting any bullish breaks to the upside or the downside. Now, if we're bullish, we need to break and hold 430, break that, and this thing has the potential to go to the 431s. That's where that resistance zone was I was talking about yesterday. Break that, we have 433 to 434. Not super strong resistance, but 435 is going to be a little bit more significant. If it manages to break 435 in the future, this thing has a lot of room to push closer to 440. It has a lot of potential, but it's all going to be triggered by a break and hold of 430. So very major resistance. Watch that very carefully. If it comes down, 429 is going to act as support, followed by where the 50 EMA is, just under 428.5. And if that fails, there's 427.5, then the 426 is. To turn bearish, you need to see this thing break and hold below 426. We're nowhere near that. So the market is still favoring the bulls big time. Just wanted to note that. Now, opening up, there is a small bearish divergence developing, so it might cool off a little bit first before it continues going. But once again, there's no confirmation of it breaking down much harder. It's just a tiny little bearish divergence right here. May cool off just a tiny bit into open and then just try to continue pushing later on. Looks pretty strong for now. There's no confirmation of major weakness or any weakness so far, and the odds are favoring the bulls. Now for Tesla, I know you guys are just waiting on Tesla, if anything. All right, so for Tesla, looking pretty good. We have this resistance zone around the 250 area. Watch this very carefully. This is where Tesla's been fighting for the last 4 hours. Actually 2 hours. It's fighting, wants to break 250, but it's struggling to break it for now. However, that's not a guarantee that it's going to fill for the time being. We're just seeing it fighting some major resistance. If it comes down, watch the levels I mentioned on the Fibonacci part. Those are like the more meticulous levels. For the bigger levels, you're going to be watching 247.5 as support. If it fails at this 250, we're currently at like 249 for now, still fighting. If that fails us, there's 245.95. 244.54, then the 242 area. So these are like the bigger levels, by the way. There are more meticulous levels you can look at on the Fibonacci retracement. And then if we end up pushing to the upside, you have to watch it break 250 for more confirmation of upside. It's gapping up nicely. I'm sure a lot of people holding calls last night are still going to make some decent gains. Not financial advice, by the way. I'm not telling you to buy or sell. I'm just simply stating that. And if it continues to push, I mean, we have potential to go all the way up to 254 if it manages to break 250 and hold it in a strong manner. 254, then 257.65, then potentially even 260 over the next couple of trading days. But like I said, those are the next major levels. It's still looking strong. There's no major sign of weakness, so watch it very, very carefully. It is gapping up, so typically what happens is it cools off when it gaps up this hard just a little bit, and then it just tries to continue pushing. That could happen, and the odds do greatly favor that. But for now, I'm just talking about that historically. That's what typically happens. But for now, there's no sign of it retracing just yet. So it's still looking strong. It looks like we're going to get buyers by open. Yes, it may cool off a little bit, but buyers should come. So I don't expect it to just like crash like some people on Twitter are saying. I'm expecting it to cool off just a tiny bit maybe, and then we'll see where the buyers step in. And I'm still expecting high volume, lots of excitement, and there's still potential. And don't forget 250. If it breaks that, if we later on hit a break above 250, this thing could go flying. So get ready on Tesla. For the QQQ, last but not least, QQQ is pumping thanks to Tesla. It's fighting 354.5. If it breaks that, we're going to see this thing get closer to 355.5. Break that. 357.5 could come if it holds 356. For bearish, watch supports at 353.53. I'm sorry, 353, then 352.53. Sorry about that. Then we have 351.54 and 350 as supports with the 50 and the 200 EMA happen to be. For now, looking quite nice, holding up thanks to Tesla. About to get a bullish cross on the PPO, so the odds favor it holding up for now. There's no sign of weakness for now, so watch all these levels. The odds are favoring it pushing up just like SPY, in my opinion. I'm just saying the odds favor that, but you need to watch for confirmation. It's not looking as strong as SPY overall because we are lower compared to SPY breaking its highs, but there is a cup and handle like formation that's forming, and overall, the technicals look more bullish than bearish. But we have to watch for confirmation. The best confirmation would be a break and hold above 356. We are still not that close to it. If it breaks and holds that, it could get closer to 357.5, then potentially 360 after that if it breaks. But we don't see, I'm sorry, we're not seeing it break out just yet, so we have to be patient. Neo, unfortunately, is very flat, a little bit down. It's down about 2 cents in the pre-market, but it's still very close to where it was before. Very, very flat, still not making a massive move in either direction. We'll see where that goes. What else is there? We have NVIDIA. Where is it? NVIDIA is right here. It's up a little bit. It's almost at 390. Break 390. We're going to be watching 391, 395, then 400. For bearish, it's going to come all the way down to about, the next major level is going to be around 385, which is where the 50 is. Break below that, there's 384, then potentially 380, and then 377, 375. Right now, it's still holding up as the Nasdaq is holding up too. There's a good chance NVIDIA is going to be just range trading between 385 and 391 for the time being. Excuse me, sorry guys. And then it may continue to push up afterwards if the market continues to pump. But for now, just watch these resistance levels. Don't forget 391, 395, and then like 400 around that area. For Apple's holding up too, it's just up a little bit in the pre-market. It's continuing to push at the level I was talking about, this 180.8 area. Break that, we're going to be watching 181.2. Break that, 182.5 could come. It's looking strong. It looks relatively strong. There's a small little bearish divergence, though. Maybe it cools off a little bit into the open, but then it could just be very minor and it could just continue pushing because there's no true sign of confirmation of any weakness just yet. And it may not even cool off much because this is still looking very strong overall. So, any cool off looks very slight for now, and the bigger moves look more bullish for the time being. But you got to watch for confirmation. If it breaks down, watch 179.72, 179 flat, then 178, then 177, 176.5, then 175. The odds are, in my opinion, favoring this thing holding up around these levels as the market's looking strong, cooling off just a tiny bit, then continuing to push for 182.5 in the future. But once again, that's what I see for many of these different tickers. As for Tesla, it's holding up nicely, still trying to continue to push. And we're going to be watching if this thing can break 250. It could, once again, cool off into the morning just temporarily, but then we're going to be watching where the buyers step in, watch the order flow, and etc. And we're going to be fighting for 250 today. If it manages to break it, this thing is going to go flying. If Tesla fails to break it, it could just cool off from here. But we just have to watch for confirmation. If it gets the confirmation, this thing could go flying to the upside. So get ready. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this pre-market update. Remain calm, cool, and collected. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon because the long term is still very bright. And peace out.